In this video, I am going to discuss the solutions of previous year questions appeared in MHTCET exam on topic rotational dynamics. Let us see first question. From a disk of mass m and radius r, a circular hole of diameter r is cut whose rim passes through the center. The moment of inertia of remaining part of the disk about perpendicular axis passing through the center is. So let us understand the question. The mass of disk is m. This is the original disk of mass m. The radius is r. The radius of this disk is r. A circular hole of diameter r. The diameter of this circular hole is r. So the radius is r by 2. Radius is r by 2. Cut whose rim passes through the center. The rim of this cut hole is passing through this center. Right? The moment of inertia of remaining part. The moment of inertia of this remaining part of the disk about perpendicular axis passing through the center. So the axis passing through the center perpendicular to the plane of paper. We have to find out the mi about this axis. So let us see the solution. Now first see, this is the entire disk. So I is the moment of inertia of this entire disk, which is equal to the moment of inertia of this remaining part plus this removed part, means I1 plus I2. So I2 is the moment of inertia of this removed part and I1 is the moment of inertia of this remaining part, right? So now we can find out this mi of entire disk, mi of entire disk I is equal to, so mi of circular disk is m r square by 2. This is the formula which we know, m r square by 2, right? Now we'll find out the mi of this removed part, mi of removed part or disk. So for this we have to use the parallel access theorem. We have to use the parallel access theorem because we have to find out the mi of this disk about this axis and this axis about this axis. So these two axes are parallel to each other. So I2 is equal to, I2 is equal to what we can write, I about center of mass plus m into h square. Moment of inertia about this center of mass into this h square, right? So which is equal to the moment of inertia, say m dash is the mass of this disk, so m dash r by 2 bracket square, radius is r by 2 into 1 half plus m dash is the mass, m dash is the mass and h is r by 2. So distance between these two axes is r by 2, radius of this hole r by 2 bracket square. The mass of cut part m dash is equal to m by 4. Mass of cut part is m by 4. So for that we can use the area density, okay, mass upon area. So using this formula we can find out the mass. So this m dash is m by 4, so I2 is equal to m by 4 into r square by 4 into 1 half plus m by 4 to r square by 4, right? So which is equal to mr square by 32 plus mr square by 16, which is equal to mr square plus 2mr square by 32. So I2 is equal to 3mr square by 32. 3mr square by 32 is the moment of inertia of this removed part. So this is the I2. Now we can find out the I1. So using this equation we can find out the I1. So I1 is equal to I minus I2, right? So I1 is equal to, value of I is mr square by 2 minus 3mr square by 32. So solving this, we get 13mr square by 32. 13mr square by 32. So option B is correct. So next question. A metal sphere of radius r and specific heat S is rotated about an axis passing through its center with speed n rotations per second. So n rotations per second is the angular speed. It is suddenly stopped and 50% of its energy is used in increasing the temperature of sphere. So this temperature of sphere is increased. The rise in temperature of the sphere is, so we have to find out the rise in temperature delta T, right? So this problem is combined, so that increase in heat is equal to 50% of rotational kinetic energy. So using this relationship we can find out the change in temperature. The heat is given by formula mass into specific heat into delta T. Mass into specific heat into delta T, and the rotational kinetic energy of sphere is given by formula 1 half I omega. 1 half I omega square is the rotational kinetic energy of sphere. Now the half of energy is used to increase in form of heat. Half of energy means we can say that ms delta T is equal to half into half I omega square. So half of this 1 half I omega square is utilized to increase the heat, right? So which is equal to 1 by 4 into the moment of inertia of sphere is given by formula 2 by 5 m r square. M is the mass and r is the radius of sphere into omega. Omega is given as 2 pi n. N is the rotational speed, rotations per second. So n is the rotational speed bracket square. Ms delta T is equal to 1 by 4 2 by 5 m r square into 4 pi square n square. So m will get cancelled, this 4 will get cancelled, and the remaining is delta t. We have to find out this delta t. So delta t is equal to 2 pi square r square n square divided by 5s. So this is the required expression. So option B is correct, right? So next, a wheel of mi 2 kg meter square is rotating at speed of 25 radians per second. Due to friction on the axis, it comes to rest in 10 seconds. Total work done by friction is, we have to find out the total work done by friction. Work done. We have to find out the work done. So work done W is given as torque into angular displacement. Work done is torque into angular displacement. So what is provided with us? Mi, I is 2 kg meter square. Then omega 1 is 25 radians per second. Omega 2 is 0, so it comes to rest in t equal to 10 minutes. T equal to 10 minutes equal to 600 seconds. T is equal to 10 minutes 600 seconds. So this is the data which we have. So from this data we can find out this work W is equal to tau into theta. So let us put the values. So work W is equal to, the tau is I into alpha, moment of inertia into angular acceleration into theta, I alpha into theta. Okay, so I is the mi of wheel. Therefore we can write W is equal to, the value of I is given 2 kg 2 into alpha into theta. So 2 into alpha into theta is the value of work. Now see, this value of 2 alpha theta we can find out from the equation of motion. Equation of motion. So we have the equation of motion for angular motion as omega 2 square is equal to omega 1 square minus 2 alpha into theta. So v square is equal to u square minus 2as. This is the linear equation of motion. So when it is analogous to angular motion. So omega 2 square is equal to omega 1 square minus 2 alpha into theta. Angular acceleration into angular displacement. So here omega 2 is equal to 0. Omega 1 is given as 25. Omega 1 is given as 25 square minus 2 alpha into theta. So 2 alpha into theta is equal to 625. 2 alpha into theta is equal to 625. So therefore we can write W is equal to 2 alpha theta is equal to 625 joule. So this is our answer B, 625 joule. Next, a ring, a disc and a solid sphere have same mass and radius. They have same mass and radius. All of them are rolled down on an inclined plane from the same height. All are rolled down from an inclined plane from same height simultaneously. The body that will reach at the bottom last amongst is, means we have to find out the body which will reach the ground at last. So here one clue is that the body moving with higher acceleration will reach first, and with least acceleration will reach last. So we have to find out the body with least acceleration. We have to find the body with least acceleration because we have to find out the body which will reach last amongst them. Okay, so body with least acceleration, that we have to find out. Now let k is the radius of gyration and r is the radius of objects, because they all have the same mass and radius, right? So acceleration or linear acceleration is given as g sin theta upon 1 plus k square upon r square. So this is the formula for linear acceleration. So the value of k first for ring is given as, for ring k is equal to r, for disk k is equal to r by root 2, and third for sphere k is equal to root 2 by 5 into r. So these are the values for radius of gyration of ring, disk and sphere. So putting these values in this equation, we can find out the acceleration for each object. Acceleration for each object. First, acceleration for ring, which is equal to g sin theta upon 1 plus r square by r square is equal to 1 half g sin theta, which is equal to 0.5 g sin theta a ring. Then we can find out the acceleration for disk. A disk is g sin theta upon 1 plus the value of k is r by root 2 bracket square upon r square. By solving this, a disk is equal to g sin theta upon 1 plus 1 by 2, which is equal to 2 by 3 g sin theta. So 2 by 3 is 0.66 g sin theta. And third, a sphere is equal to g sin theta upon 1 plus root 2 by 5 r bracket square upon r square is equal to g sin theta upon 1 plus 2 by 5, 1 plus 2 by 5, which is equal to 5 by 7 g sin theta, which is equal to 5 by 7 is 0.7, approximate equal to 0.7 g sin theta. So among these, see, the acceleration of ring is 0.5 g sin theta, which is less amongst all these three. So we can say that the ring has the minimum speed. So the ring will reach the bottom last. The ring will reach the bottom last. So likewise, we can solve this problem by using the radius of gyration and linear acceleration formula. So next, a circular coil and a disk having same mass roll without sleeping on the horizontal with the same linear velocity. They have same linear velocity. If the total kinetic energy of coil is 12 joule, total kinetic energy of coil is 12 joule, then the total kinetic energy of disk is. So the kinetic energy of coil is given as 12 joule and we have to find out the total kinetic energy of disk. 12 joule. We have to find out kinetic energy for disk. So for solving this problem, we can use the formula of kinetic energies. We can use the formula of kinetic energies, and by taking ratio of these two, we can find out the energy of disk. See how to solve this. So Mi of coil is given as m r square. Coil is nothing but a ring. Okay, it is nothing but a ring, m r square, and the Mi of disk is 1 half m r square. 1 half m r square. Therefore, the kinetic energy of coil is given as translational kinetic energy plus rotational kinetic energy. Rotational kinetic energy. It is the addition of translational kinetic energy and rotational kinetic energy for this coil. So this translational kinetic energy is given as 1 half m v square plus rotational kinetic energy is given as 1 half I omega square. So I is the moment of inertia which we know, which is equal to 1 half m. V is given as r omega. Velocity, linear velocity V is equal to r omega. So r omega plus 1 half, the value of I coil is m r square omega square, so which is equal to 1 half m r square omega square plus 1 half m r square omega square. So the kinetic energy of coil is given as m r square omega square. M r square omega square. If we double this, then it will become m r square omega square. So this is the kinetic energy of coil. Kinetic energy of disk is again using same formula. So we can directly write this equation. So 1 half m r omega square. This is the translational kinetic energy plus 1 half into I is 1 half m r square into omega square. So this is the rotational kinetic energy. So we get 1 half plus 1 by 4 m r square omega square, which is equal to 3 by 4 m r square omega square. So by taking this ratio, that is E coil upon E disk is equal to, we get 1 upon 3 by 4, which is equal to 4 by 3. This is the ratio of E coil and E disk is 4 by 3. So from this we can find out the energy, kinetic energy of coil is 12 joule. So 4 by 3 is equal to 12 divided by E disk. So E disk is equal to 9 joule. E disk is equal to 9 joule. So option C is the correct. Next problem. A child is swinging on a swing in sitting position if he stands up on the swing, then the periodic time of the swing will. Now here the center of mass
and mass
remains same. Therefore, the periodic time of swing will remains the same. Thin ring having mass 100 gram. The mass of ring is 100 gram and radius 10 centimeter. Radius of ring is 10 centimeter. Is rotating about its axis with frequency 1 hertz. The frequency n is 1 hertz. 4 objects of each mass 12.5 gram. So small m is 12.5 gram are kept gently to the opposite ends of two perpendicular diameters. So like this, these 4 objects are placed on opposite ends of two perpendicular diameters of the ring. The new frequency of rotation of the ring will be, we have to find out the new frequency of rotation. So as the mass of object changes, so the frequency of rotation will change, right? So see what is given. Frequency or n is 1 hertz. The mass of object is zero point 0.1 kg. Then the radius is 0 0.1 meter. So therefore the initial speed omega 1 is equal to 2 pi f, which is equal to 2 pi because the frequency is 1 hertz. So using conservation of angular momentum, angular momentum, we have I1 omega 1 is equal to I2 omega 2. I2 omega 2. So here I1 is the moment of inertia of ring and I2 is the moment of inertia of ring with these 4 objects, right? So let us find I1 omega 1. So I1 is equal to mr square. So I1 omega 1 is equal to 2 pi m r square. So putting values, 2 into pi into m value is 0.1 into r is 0.1 square. So here we get 2 pi into 10 raised to minus 3. 2 pi into 10 raised to minus 3. This is the 10 raised to minus 1 and this will become 10 raised to minus 2. So total is 10 raised to minus 3. So the I1 omega 1. So I2 omega 2, here again we have to use the total I is I1 plus 4 m h square into 2 pi into frequency 2. 2 pi into frequency 2 omega 2. So here omega 2 is equal to 2 pi into frequency 2, new frequency. So here we have used the parallel access theorem for these 4 objects. So I of ring is 10 raised to minus 3 plus 4 into, so new objects, the total weight of these objects is 4 into 2.5, sorry 12.5 divided by 1000 kg. Okay, 12.5 gram divided by 1000 is kg into 10 raised to minus 2. H is the radius. H is the radius. 10 raised to minus 2 is the radius. So solving this, we get I2 omega 2 is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 plus 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 3. So solving this, we get 10 raised to minus 3 plus 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 3. So total is 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 I2 omega 2. Therefore, into we have 2 pi f2 into 2 pi f2. So now we can equate these two equations, I1 omega 1 and I2 omega 2. So what we get, 2 pi into 10 raised to minus 3 is equal to 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 2 pi f2. So 2 pi will get cancelled, 10 raised to minus 10 raised to minus 3 will get cancelled, and f2 is equal to 1 upon 1.5. So here f2 is equal to 1 upon 3 by 2 is equal to 2 by 3 is equal to 2 by 3. So f2 is equal to 2 by 3 f1. So sorry, f2 is equal to 2 by 3 hertz. This is the correct answer, 2 by 3 hertz. Next, the earth revolves around the sun in circular orbit of radius r. The angular momentum of the revolving earth is directly proportional to. So we have to find out the angular momentum. L is given as m r square omega. This is the formula for angular momentum. So L is equal to m r square into v by r. So L is equal to m r into v. mr into v. So the mass of earth is constant, the linear velocity is constant, so therefore L is directly proportional to r. So angular momentum L is directly proportional to r, radius, option D. Next question, a mass is whirled in a circular path, constant angular velocity, and its linear velocity is v. A mass is whirled in a circular path of constant angular velocity and its linear velocity is v. If this string is now halved, keeping the angular momentum same, the linear velocity is. So string is halved means the r is made r by 2. So the initial radius of rotation is halved into r by 2. So linear momentum L is given as m r square omega, so which is equal to m r square into v by r. So v is constant, v by r, so this is equal to m r into v, but new radius is equal to r by 2. So L is equal to m r by 2 into 2v because we have to keep this linear momentum same. So we have divided this equation by 2 and again multiplied by 2. So r by 2 is the new radius which satisfies our condition, and 2v is the new velocity. So new velocity is 2 into V. Option B is correct. And the last is a coin kept at a distance r1 centimeter from the axis of rotation of the turntable just begins to slip when the turntable rotates at an angular speed of omega 1 radians per second. If this distance is tripled, this distance is tripled, then at what angular speed angular speed of the turntable will the coin begins slip? So we have to find out the speed of turntable at which the coin slips when the distance from the center is tripled. Distance from the center is tripled. At moment coin just begins to slip, the centripetal or centrifugal force is equal to friction force. It's just friction force. This is the condition. So at this condition, mr omega 1 square centrifugal force is equal to mu into mg is the friction force, which is equal to nu mr2 omega 2 square. The new condition, old condition. This is new condition. So we can write mr1 omega 1 square is equal to mr2 omega 2 square. So will get cancelled, and r1 is equal to 3r, or this r2, sorry, r2 is equal to 3r1 because the distance is tripled. The distance is tripled, so r2 is equal to 3r1. So r1 omega 1 square is equal to 3 r1 omega 2 square. So r get cancelled. So we have omega 2 square is equal to omega 1 square by 3. So omega 2 is equal to omega by root 3. Omega by root 3. So option C is the correct. Option C is correct. So likewise, we can solve the numericals which are asked in the previous year MST CET examinations based on the topic rotational dynamics.